Hi, everybody. I am Tim White at the Channel 12 studios, and I'm joined by my colleague, politics and business editor, Ted Nesi. Ted, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Here, reporting from my house, as we're all social distancing right now.
That's right. We have to do it digitally.
Yep.
So we're talking now on a Tuesday morning. We're recording this video because a new round of unemployment numbers just came out. Let's take a look at those before we get into our viewer questions. Ted, as we've been tracking these numbers here. This was the biggest day back on St. Patrick's Day, but just yesterday, the second largest spike in unemployment insurance claims came out. What are we above now? 70,000 claims for state unemployment insurance in the state right now. Is that where we are?
Yes. Plus another, I want to say 11 or so thousand temporary disability insurance or temporary caregiver insurance, its sister program. It's just, the numbers are unbelievable. If you do the rough math, we're talking about something like 15% heading toward 20% unemployment rate, which, yeah, that's worse than we're getting into Great Depression territory. Of course, we all hope, unlike that, this will snap back quickly once, all these measures are taken out. But, at the moment, it's just a huge amount of damage to the job market.
All right, so let's get into some questions that you and I have been getting via email or Facebook. And this question we're getting a lot, Ted, which is for those people that are on that chart that I just showed. A lot of people email us and they have a simple question: when will I get my benefits? A lot of people have applied for unemployment insurance for, as you point out, TDI and TCI, which is a temporary caregivers insurance. And they've reached out and said, look, I'm at day 10, I'm at day 11, I'm on hold with DLT for hours and hours, and I'm still waiting. What can we tell them?
So I've spent a bunch of time on the phone with DLT officials today and yesterday, trying to get my own arms around where the process stands, how long it should be taking, what's normal. The biggest thing they're saying to people is they are pleading for patience. They know it's hard. I don't want to minimize if your income has stopped. This would be the only thing you're thinking about. And I certainly understand that. I think the officials hopefully get that too. But the system, this is just such a huge amount of people in such a short amount of time that the system is bogged down, which is why it's taking a little while. What I was told, first and foremost, is, I'm looking at my notes while we talk, about 7 to 14 days at this point is the average amount of time it's going to take from the time you put in that application until your claim is fully, baked through, and either you're getting money or when you're going to be getting money. So that could be up to 2 weeks. So for a lot of, we're only 3 weeks out from when that data starts. So we're hoping they'll get us some data on how many people have gotten their claims processed and approved. But that's why a lot of people, I think, right now are in this zone of waiting. You see there, we only had a small number of claims early on. Most people have been in that 7 to 14 day window we were talking about. So that's an important thing. Second of all, there's kind of 3 steps to watch for that will help you understand if you're on track for your unemployment claim to be paid. The first one is, hold on one second, my Zoom went away. Here we go. Am I still in it? Okay.
Oh, you're there.
We're still getting used to the technology. I apologize for the hiccups, making sure we're on. So the three things they said to watch for. 1, when you hit submit on your application, you get a confirmation number. Good sign. You're in the queue to have your benefit claim reviewed. That's good. That happens right away. Keep that confirmation number. Second, you'll get an email saying your claim has been received. A lot of folks have gotten that. I think that's the point where a lot of people are seeing a message that has said, check in 48 hours and you'll get the information. That message was up from before the COVID-19 crisis. And so it's not operative right now. There's no way they're getting these done in 48 hours like they were before. So that's the second thing. Third is the email that says your claim has been processed. That one, which should take a bit longer, is going to give you your BYE, which is a code you're going to need, and your dates. You can use Teleserve, the system, to get your PIN and get your benefit stuff set up. They say it's really important to not call into Teleserve until you get that email with your dates to call Teleserve, because that's going to let you in and get you through the process correctly. You can actually, my understanding is you can get locked out of the system if you call when you're not supposed to be in teleserve. So again, I don't want to minimize how hard it would be. If this was me, I'd be wanting to call all day long and wait in line. But everything they're saying is if you've gotten a confirmation number, if you've gotten your claim is received email, you are in process, even if it's taking uncomfortably long to go through that. One reason, they also said, if you have a neighbor maybe who's out of work and you say, well, they got it happened faster for them, is something wrong with mine? No two claims are the same. There's what they call clean claims. Those are claims where you put in your information, the kind of automated, quick, expedited system can quickly verify it and push you through. Then there are claims actually called dirty claims, internally. And that just means they need to go through the information manually, which means human beings who have a lot of work right now, and that gets backed up. It doesn't mean you're not necessarily going to get benefits. It just means that it's going to take longer to process your claim. So, long story short, up to 2 weeks, I would say, is currently normal from the pressing submit on your application through getting the information you need. As you can see there, again, tens of thousands of people are in the queue trying to get this done. So it's tough to hear patients. There will be people, I'm sure, with problems, but for those of you who are kind of in that window, you can still at least think you might still be in something normal, even though it's taking a while.
Yeah, when you talk about that 2-week window, I mean, that 2 weeks, we're approaching the peak here of all those claims that were put in, again, around St. Patrick's Day. So you can see why it's probably taking DLT so long. All right, we have another question from Linda, who emailed us about those who are, they have to work 2 jobs. One of them they still have, and one of them they've lost. And she said her son is in that very position right now. Can someone still get unemployment benefits for one job if they still have the other?
Yeah, I checked on this after we heard from Linda, and the answer seems to be yes. You can be eligible to replace the lost income from your second job if that job has gone away. It sounds like those claims might be more complex because you haven't lost all your income, and so you have to put in kind of what you've lost. They have to check that. They're going to see still some wages. But it does sound like you should apply. We should also say, Tim, people are going to be hearing right now about kind of 2 different programs. There's the traditional regular unemployment, which is what we've been talking about so far. That's for kind of the standard job with a W-2 tax form. Those folks should just apply into traditional unemployment as they have been in huge numbers and do it that way. Then the stimulus law that just passed, the big, huge one that Congress passed, has a new program that's being set up now called I believe it's Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. This is supposed to cover freelancers and independent contractors and people with limited work histories, all the folks who fall through the cracks, well, maybe not all of them, but many of the folks who fall through the cracks of traditional unemployment. That is not up and running yet. DLT does have a mailing list where you can sign up and get information. When that is up and running, they'll send it to you. I'd say if you're basically anyone who hasn't been able to get regular unemployment for some reason right now and have lost work, sign up at least for that mailing list and look for more information right now. We do have the link on our website. It's in the Q&A I posted last night on the federal unemployment expansion. So that link is in there. But you want to sign up for that. I actually checked this morning, Tim. Nearly 5,000 people have signed up for that mailing list in the past few days, which gives you a sense of how many other folks are out there waiting for help who aren't in traditional unemployment.
Yeah, it sounds like the claim here with Linda too would not be one of those clean claims that you talked about in the first question. And we also heard, Ted, from them early on when we did the explainer. Look, apply for state unemployment insurance benefits. You're not going to get penalized if
Right.
if it doesn't work out or if you weren't supposed to apply. At least then you can get the ball rolling and you'll know. Okay, one more question.
And I would just add, don't keep applying if you were denied initially. That could mess with your system. It's also going to slow DLT down for the other people. If you were denied when you applied in the last couple of weeks, I'd wait for that new system to be up and running and try again over there. It's not going to help you to apply in the old system again if you've been denied already over there, unless something has changed in your circumstance.
That was a good note. One last question. Karen from Providence, she sent in, Ted, to both of us, a series of questions about the interaction of federal and state benefits. I'll just sort of boil down all of her questions because we don't have time here to get through all of them. But generally, how does the state's TDI and TCI impact federal unemployment benefits?
Yeah, so the Fed, there's so much changing so fast. The Feds passed, before the big stimulus bill from last week, they had passed another bill. I think it's called Families First is the first words of that bill. That expanded paid leave and gave tax credits to employers, so people could get paid leave at their work. Remember that Rhode Island's one of relatively few states with a state level disability insurance program as well as a caregiver insurance program. There are definitely still questions about how those interact. I checked with DLT this morning. They don't have a lot of guidance yet on how they're gonna marry the state level system with these brand new temporary benefits out of the feds. I'd say to keep track of information coming out of DLT, and that we'll report if we find it on that. And then the other thing is, there are some other changes in the big stimulus bill that we're going to see roll out. An extra $600 for everyone who's on unemployment. That should be happening automatically once it gets rolling. You should see that once you're in the system automatically with your payments. Also, they've extended how long you can collect from 26 weeks in Rhode Island to 39 weeks. That expires at the end of the year. And I should say the $600 expires at the end of July. So these are all temporary, but all that stuff is being worked out. It's just moving really fast. And there's a huge number of people who need it all at once, which is why we've been trying to explainers like this and the things on our website, because we know how many people need this information and how hopefully it can help put your mind at ease a little to at least understand where everything stands.
You have to wonder if there's going to be yet another stimulus package that's going to be coming out of Washington.
I already talked about that, yeah.
All right. Ted and I wanted to do this Q&A because we get so many questions, and we figured that one of your questions might answer 1,000 others, because there are so many of you out there that have the same question. So if you have any question for us, just email Ted at tnesi@wpri.com or me, twhite@wpri.com, and we'll try and get to those questions in a form like this.
And I just add, your questions are helping us. We read every email we get. You sometimes flag to us something that we didn't realize, or a pain point in the system. Frankly, sometimes you flag something to us and then we flag it to DLT when we ask a reporter question and they didn't realize it, or it makes something clear to them that they weren't aware of. So send those questions in. We know we can't get everything you want right away, but we will keep trying.
All right, Ted, thanks so much, and we'll see you again here on WPRI.com.